Okay, friends, we're gonna do our pea experiment. I wrote the words my pea, and I'm going to get the bag of peas. Let's see, where did I put the bag? And I have a plastic bag. So I have this bag, and I have a lot. If you hear a funny noise, that is Donnie playing his trumpet. All right, 1 pea. You know what? Let's do 2 just for fun. 2 peas. Can you believe that something like this will grow into a plant? Nature is so awesome. Okay. Now I'm going to take a paper towel. I'm actually going to move my clipboard because I don't want to get the paper wet. So I'm going to take the paper towel and I'm going to gently place 2 peas inside. 1, 2. And then I'm going to fold them so they stay in and they don't escape. I'm going to fold them. I can feel them right here. I'm going to fold them 1 more time. And maybe just leave them just like that. And I'm going to place them in my paper bag. But the first thing that they're going to need is a little bit of water. So I have a little cup of water right here. And I'm going to pour just a tiny bit. That's about good enough. Okay. Wow, look at that. It spreads out so fast. Then I'm going to take my bag. I'm going to label my bag and have it say Mrs. O'Brien. Mrs. O'Brien. I don't know if you can see it. It says Mrs. O'Brien. And I'm going to place the peas inside. Okay. And I'm going to zip it, squeeze all the way across, and there we have it. Now, one other thing I'm going to do is stick it in the window where it gets some sunshine, and then in a few days we're going to visit that. But I'm going to do more than just one for me. I think we have enough seeds to do one for all of our friends to hang in my window. And I was also thinking of buying some today at the store, maybe some peas or some beans, and doing this experiment, like giving you guys each your own to do the experiment. So this is my second one. I folded it up, and I have water. I'm going to add a little water. And I am going to get another plastic bag. And let's see, if I started with like the alphabet in our class, but by first name, I think our first friend would be Addie. So I'm going to write Addie's name. And I'm going to put her peas inside, and I hang them in the window as well. Okay, so there's Addie's. And the next one would be Austin. But I'm going to do that off camera and not have you guys watch me do all of those, okay? So while we're waiting for those, I also want to show you something that I found. Take this paper away and put it under here. I went out and I noticed there are so many weeds that need to be pulled. They just keep coming and keep coming. And I pulled one of them out and I noticed it's a very sticky weed. It's very annoying. And I noticed that it had long, long roots. So you could see the roots coming down. and the shoots going up to form the leaves. And these leaves are very sticky and they're really good at sticking on you so they can travel through the garden. I also pulled up another plant to see what the roots look like on it, and check it out. I can see even more. Look at that. So then I thought, well, I wonder if I could try to draw myself what it would look like. So for example, I think I would start with my marker and I would draw a line. And this line is going to represent underground and above ground. So this is the dirt or the soil. And I'm going to draw what I think it would look like if there was a little pea underground. Let's see if I have. So here's my pea underground. And then let's pretend that there was sun. Let me see. I have orange. I'm going to draw a sun that's shining down. Sometimes I like to draw sun rays to represent the rays of the sun reaching the ground and all over the sky. And it just goes all over. Okay, so there's the sunshine. And then I'm also going to draw, what do you think this is? Right, it's supposed to represent clouds. Like today I've been watching the clouds move in. And from the clouds, especially if they're thunder clouds or rain clouds, come droplets of water that we call rain. Whoops, that one looks, that's funny. So water's falling down from the rain, from the cloud, and hitting the ground as well. And over time, remember the first thing that comes out of our little seed is a tiny little root. And that root is searching down into the ground, into the soil. Let's just do dots all over to represent the soil, because in the soil there's lots of nutrients and good stuff for that little pea or bean to eat. Okay, and the roots start going down and growing, and as the roots are reaching down and getting spread out more, the shoots are starting to come up and up. And remember, at first they look kind of white until they reach, ta-da, up into the above the ground, and they poke out and they form. Remember in our story it said little heart-shaped leaves? So we can draw one. Sometimes the first leaves that come out look different than the other leaves of the plant. And they are collecting the sunshine that's shining down so it can even grow more big. And as the shoots are coming up and our plant is growing, more roots, I'm just going to use green, are going down into the ground. All from this tiny little bean. And on those shoots grow more leaves. And they gather the sunshine. And they bring all the nutrients down their stem. And then, if this were a pea plant, they would get little flowers that would first grow. And remember, our little bees come to pollinate, and our butterflies. I'm going to draw a little bee with wings coming down to drink the nectar. and go from one to the other, and eventually the flower shrivels up, right? And our little pea or bean pod grows out. Look at that. It's so magical. Sometimes the plant will grow into a flower and produce seeds. And some of those flowers from other plants will turn into fruit or vegetables. So many different things, because remember we talked about we eat a lot of the plants that grow from the ground. We eat the flowers, we eat leaves, we eat roots, we eat tubers. It just depends on the plant that's in the ground. I'm pretending this plant is a pea plant. So the peas grow. Usually the little flowers are white. But the peas grow, and then inside are the little peas. So that's kind of the story of that. So if you start to think about plants that are growing underground, remember the roots have all these long, and they're even like little hairs on there to stretch and move through the soil. And then the shoots come up and form the big leaves. Right? So these little ones here might have been the very first ones that came. This is a very fuzzy plant. Okay? So what I'm going to do is continue with my, I'm going to make you guys all packets, and I'll tape them in the window, and I will show you that when I'm done. I'm going to go to the store today and buy some for you to try to do at home. You could do it in a baggie, or you could do it also in a little cup with soil. I like to start out in the baggie with just a little bit of water. And then you can open it up and see the roots, and then plant it directly into the soil. All right, see you soon.